Does invisible suit really exist? If yes, then when it would be available to the public, and when, and also at what price?
Well, first of all, let's address the invisible suit question. Does it exist? In science fiction, yes, for decades. In reality, sort of, but not in the way you might be imagining from like Harry Potter or Predator movies. What we have today are experimental technologies that can bend light, redirect electromagnetic waves, or use adaptive camouflage systems. So, in principle, invisibility is not impossible. It's just very, very hard. Right now, several research groups and defense contractors are experimenting with metamaterials and nanotechnology that can make objects blend into their surroundings. Think of it less like poof, I disappear, and more like a very advanced real-time camouflage that tricks your eyes or sensors. I've seen some demos where tanks or ships can reduce their visibility almost entirely. That's real, so yes, primitive versions of invisibility exist today, but let's talk about when it would be available to the public. If you mean a full-body, flexible suit that makes you disappear in front of human eyes, well, that's not going to be on Amazon next year. Realistically, we're talking decades, maybe 20 to 30 years before you see something consumer grade. And even then, the first users won't be the public, will be military, government, maybe special forces. That's just the reality of how advanced tech gets rolled out. Now, in terms of technology development, Tesla and SpaceX aren't working on invisible suits, by the way. Last, not our core mission, but if I look at how innovation typically scales, it follows a curve first, super expensive experimental prototypes costing millions of dollars, then once materials, science, manufacturing, and demand converge, prices come down dramatically. Look at how the first cell phones cost thousands of dollars and looked like bricks. Now you can buy a supercomputer in your pocket for a couple $100. So if invisible suits become technically feasible, the first models would probably cost tens of millions of dollars. Seriously, the optics, sensors, power systems, it's not going to be cheap. Over time, maybe it comes down to the price of a car. That I wouldn't expect you to buy one for the price of an iPhone anytime soon. Maybe by the mid-21st century, it's consumer tech. The bigger question is, should it be public? Imagine the ethical issues. Invisible suits could be misused for crime, espionage, invasion of privacy, so governments are going to regulate the hell out of it. That means even when the tech exists, the average person might not get their hands on it legally. So, to summarize, does it exist today? Partially, yes, in labs and defense prototypes. Will you see it in your lifetime? Probably, but not in the magical, maybe like form, price. Initially, insanely high millions, maybe after decades, affordable like cars, but don't expect to walk into a mall and buy one in the next decade. And honestly, if I had to be tied, rather focus humanity's energy on solving renewable energy, multiplanetary life, and AI alignment before we worry about playing Harry Potter with invisible cloaks.